Good morning. Welcome to the channel. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, how are y'all this morning? We're going to be talking about bringing nothing to the table. All right. If y'all are here from TikTok, welcome. If y'all are here from Instagram or YouTube, welcome. Y'all click like. Also, before a lot of people get in here, definitely join the Patreon tier 2 and up if you would like to message me privately. Also, we have a mail out tier where you get a card or a handwritten letter or in a card by me every month. And there'll be upcoming news that a lot of y'all are probably going to be excited to hear on the Patreon, probably in the summer. So y'all go ahead and become a member on the Patreon. I'll link it again. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There are also PDF books on there. And of course, access to message me. And I'll answer you back like every 1 or 2 days when I read all of your messages. Okay. Thank y'all. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about I Bring Nothing to the Table. That's one of the titles of my books. It's just definitely going to have to read that one. It's a great beginner's guide. But we're going to discuss it today in the video. Men love to ask the dumb question. Let me repeat that. Dusties like to ask the dumb question, what do you bring to the table? Well, what's in it for me? Sir, if you ain't got enough, just keep it moving. I ain't bringing nothing. You ain't got enough. You need help? Go over there. Okay? How are you going to approach somebody already begging as a grown, able-bodied man? That's the whole question. If you're a man, it's begging. If you're a woman, it's providing. You get it? A man is a provider. So if a man comes up to you, what do you bring to the table? What do I get out of it? Da, 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 da. He's bartering and begging. This is not the symptoms of a provider. These are not the characteristics of a provider. This is not the characteristics of the type of man that's going to value or care for you. This is the symptoms of a man that is needy, of lack, and of poverty mind. So whenever they ask this dumb, stupid question, what do you bring to the table? Dismiss yourself from their presence and hope that they find the pick-me-shit that they deserve. Okay? Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, and ladies, men learn their mistakes after every rejection. If you're not teaching them by rejecting the nonsense, they're going to think it's working and they're going to keep asking dumb questions and thinking the same way. So our rejection is literally teaching them to do better when they approach the next woman. So we have to reject them. And if they ask why, politely say, well, I only date providers that don't require me to bring them anything. You know, and a lot of men will be like, well, that's not what I meant. Like, well, that's what it sounded like you meant. If you need anything from me, my presence is literally enough. Okay? If you don't know the value of a woman, that's your job to figure it out. I'm not getting ready to sit here and explain myself. If you don't know, then you don't know how to treat me either. If you don't know the value of a woman, you don't know how to treat a woman, you don't know how to do this, and somebody needs to go teach you, or you need to go learn yourself. I don't have time to finish raising somebody's son. And this is the attitude that ladies need to have towards these types of men, because literally they are someone's sons who don't know what they're doing, who don't know the value of a woman, who expect a woman to give them something when they are the providers. So dismiss yourself. Don't even entertain that. If you're a desperate woman, that's the only reason you should be entertaining that. If you are desperate, that's the only reason you would be entertaining or answering the question, what you bring to the table. Okay? The only way you can answer that They're literally listed in my book, I Bring Nothing to the Table. I have lots of answers to that. But my favorite one is, I have two: nothing, I'm not a waitress. Or number two, another man that doesn't ask me to bring anything to the table. Okay. So a lot of men won't understand this because they're not men yet mentally. They're still boys looking for a handout from their mothers. They're still looking for mothers, and they're still thinking that they're equal to women, and they're still thinking that, you know, they're the prize. So get away from those type of guys. They have nothing to offer you. They are not providers. They're in their feminine era. And if you're a feminine woman, it's literally going to repel you anyway. So dismiss them and let them be on their feminine way. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And a lot of these guys don't mind being that way anymore because so many guys glorify it. But at the end of the day, when people look at you and they don't respect you as a man, that literally takes a toll on their psyche. Okay. So if they want to feel good about themselves, if they want confidence in themselves as a man that women desire in every way, they'll fix themselves. But until then, that's not our job, ladies. Our job is to attract the providers, the men who already know a woman's value, and we don't have to finish raising someone's son and teach them. Those are the type of men you want, okay? And usually they're going to be a little bit older and a little bit more wiser and going to be way more financially responsible and able to be a provider, okay? Now, some of y'all don't care and y'all want to sit at the bus with Ray and them because they're cute. Go right ahead, Pygmisha. When you're done with that, come back over here. Okay. Okay. Should young women move out ASAP or stay with parents? You need to stay with somebody until they can afford to provide for you. Okay. Why waste your money if you don't have to? Unless your parents are standing in the way of you living your best happy life and you can afford to live out on your own without struggling, great. But if you're going to just move out to struggle, I say stay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't believe in de-struggle. If your parents allow you to stay there rent free, I say stay there until you don't have to. Thank you, Nisha. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Why move out just to struggle? That's the dumbest thing. Okay. If you have someone that's going to sponsor you or pay for your place, great, wonderful. But I'm not moving out just to struggle, just to say I got my own place. Okay, can you keep your own place? I used to do consultations, and so many women moved out, tried to be grown, and couldn't afford their place, and they ended up getting evicted. So what's the point of that? It's going to ruin your credit. Just stay home until you're able to do the most, or you can find somebody that's going to do the most for you. All right, sprinkle, sprinkle. Be smart. Said amazing advice. Thank you. So bringing nothing to the table also means you're not cooking, you're not cleaning, you're not doing any of those wifely duties that men expect women to automatically know how to do. No, we're not doing any of that. If you want a maid, a cook, and a laundromat, go hire one. Okay. A lot of women aren't into traditional marriages or, doing traditional marriage things for a man that doesn't have a ring on their finger these days anyway. The reason why is because you can hire that help. There are many businesses that people have: personal chefs, maid services, cleaning services, laundry services. If you don't know how to do your own laundry or cook or clean as a man, you can definitely hire out. And if you want a woman that cooks, cleans, and does laundry, hire a woman. Support female business. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If you want your woman to be happy, she should have a choice and an option to have to be somebody's maid, servant, and all that kind of stuff, even if you don't have a ring on your finger or if she's a placeholder. This woman don't know if she's a placeholder or not. She don't know that she's the one. Why is she working like Cinderella and there ain't no Prince Charming at the end of the story? You know what I'm saying? Women need to wake up and stop bringing crap to the table. These men don't even appreciate it anyway. They're laughing behind your back saying, oh, I got to be a one at home cooking and cleaning. while they're out in the bar or on dating apps right now? How would you feel if you're sitting at home? Listen to this, ladies. How would you feel if you have a boyfriend that you go 50-50 with? You're at home washing his dirty underwear, cooking his meal, cleaning, and when he gets home, he done already been on a date from a dating app. How do you feel? You feel stupid? Oh no, you don't even know, do you? All right, that's why you don't do these things. Even if you are married, if you don't feel like doing those things and you feel like you are able to hire outside help, especially with his money, if he makes enough money, definitely do that. Don't sit up here and be someone's domestic servant thinking it's going to keep them faithful, because it's not. It's just going to make them cheat more. Why? Because you're dumb and stupid and they don't think you'll figure it out. All right. If like I said, if you're older and you cook and clean and your man is good and y'all have a perfect system, don't mind my channel. When you need me, come back. Okay. If something changes, I'll be here. All right. When you find out something that you didn't want to find out, I'm here for you. But until then, you're not going to believe me. You're not going to be, on board with this information until you need to be. Right. So that's why I'm here. What if they try to kiss on the first date, but you don't want to? Tell them. Say, no, I don't kiss on the first date. Or no, thank you, I don't kiss on the first date. Or just give them the cheek, Just turn your head. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, TFL, sprinkle, for the lady that broke this. Thank you, ma'am. Or sir. I'm sorry. Thank you. Dwayne, thank you, Dwayne, and we appreciate you. I'm sorry, these thumbnail pictures are so small. I gotta zoom in. Okay. Okay, Dwayne, I see you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sprinkle. I have to zoom in to see y'all's thumbnail. It's like this small. Well, girl, you don't have to do anything you don't want to. Exactly. So bring nothing to the table. And let me tell you, if a man really likes you, he's not going to ask you that question, because when he saw you, when he laid eyes upon you, he didn't envision you bringing anything to the table. He just envisioned you in his life to make it better, to be on his arm. Okay? He didn't envision you cooking and cleaning and washing his dirty drawers and contributing half the rent, because that's not his dream woman. That's his stand-in placeholder Barbara the Builder. That's not what men literally want. That's what men were taught to use to get to the next level. That's what men are taught to use women to live a better lifestyle than they can actually afford. Okay? Men were taught to go 50-50 by pygmishas. Men were taught to use women. Men were taught to do a lot of things to get their money up and to put them in a higher position to get the type of woman that they actually want, and who don't have to do any of those things. So remember that. If you're literally sitting here explaining what you bring to the table and answering questions like it's a job interview, you're literally getting ready to get a job that you're not being paid for. Okay? You're literally getting a job that you're not going to get paid for. In fact, you're going to have to pay to work there. That's how stupid it is when a man asks, what do you bring to the table? And, for a woman to go 50-50, you're literally paying to do a job for free just to have some type of man in your life. That's probably not going to be there for long. Okay. Why do you think other women think that you should bring something to the table? Because some of those women, and I'm not bashing these women at all, because everyone comes from a different background and story. Some of those women may have been taken advantage of in the past and had zero control over their life. And they feel that going 50-50 may give them some sort of control or a way to say, I'm out, I don't need you, A, B, C, and D. Some women think like that. But me, I think of already having something, requiring them to do, invest in you before you agree to even move in with them or date them. In order for you to have the ability to say, I don't need you, I also say you should definitely keep your options open if you're not married and have a ring on it, because that also says that I don't need you. Some women are so emotionally attached to men that they have to go 50-50 because they don't have other options. They don't want other options. And they have the morals of society that teaches them to cater to men. So that's why they think that. It's just how they were raised, what was ingrained into them, and a form of trying to have some control in the situation. Okay, but usually the ones that go 50-50 are the women that have the least control and want the most control, because they're always policing their men online. Are they following other chicks? Well, I'm paying all these bills and they're following other chicks online. How do you think that has an impact on those ladies' self-esteem and self-worth if they're dishing out money every month to a man that's following women online? Even though I say it's nothing wrong with following other women online if you value yourself more and love yourself more, but these women don't value themselves more or love themselves more. That's why they're going 50-50 with a man and getting mad when every time that man follows some other chick online who's not going 50-50 with them. She thinks he's going to give her all the money he's been saving, all the money that he has to spare that could be going towards being a full provider. She thinks he's going to spend it on other chicks, and she's going to look like Boo Boo the Fool for shelling out 50% of the bills. That's why some women are like that. Okay, that Venus, sprinkle, sprinkle. You got rid of a cheap sugar daddy today. You're also happy for myself, tired of stupid BS. Okay. Every day he thinks I'm going to chase him. I'm already on to the next. Good for you, ma'am. Let him keep thinking you're going to chase him. He'll be waiting in vain. Thank you, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Good for you. So I think sometimes men forget that we have so many options. They're so focused on these dusty statistics and red pill statistics that they forget that we will date a married man. We will date someone and have a roster. They're thinking how women used to think in the past. We will have several. We will get all bills paid. Okay, we can do that. That's very easy as a woman. But a lot of men are using the fact that some women, especially women in the past or some pygmy women, are going to keep going by society's standards, and we're not anymore. So they're baffled. Okay, they're baffled that women would rather be single than deal with some dust. Because single does not mean you're not dating. Single doesn't mean you don't have a date 3 to 4 times a week. Single does not mean you're not getting your bills paid for. It just means you're not attached to somebody, with commitment. That's all it means. It also means you're not married. So half of these men out here promote being single as a man. But why is it wrong, or why is it weaponized, form of insult when they say you're going to be single? Well, most men's dreams are to be single forever. So they think our dream is to have some type of man, any type of man, just any kind of scrap of a man at the bus stop with no money. They think we would rather have that than to say we're single. Okay, no, we'll be driving by y'all at the bus stop waving in our nice car with all our bills paid by several men, or one man that has it all. And if we decide to get married or be in a committed relationship, it's literally up to us, and if we want to be bothered with that or not. Okay, and some of y'all men think that that's an insult. It's not an insult if being in a relationship means being miserable with a dusty. Okay, try again. Why settle down with one dusty when you could date several men that gives you money? Why settle down with one dusty when you could be on vacation with this dude over here 1 month and on another vacation the next month? Why be settled down with a dusty who's playing video games and asking you for half the money? That's not a relationship. That's torture. That's struggle love. Nobody wants to claim that mess anymore, sir. So if you don't have enough money to 100% provide for your woman and make her happy and keep a smile on her face, don't talk to no women about That's why you're going to be single. Sir, most people would rather be single than to deal with somebody's broke, undereducated son. Okay? Literally. Don't nobody want to finish raising you. Go back home to your mother. Okay? We don't care. Have fun. That's right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Now, in the past, I've had some men get consultations from me to ask me how to become the type of man that women want. You know, I would always tell them they need to go find some money. They need to get several streams of income. Women don't like no broke man if other men are constantly offering them more. I mean, think about this, men. This is the equivalent to you being in a relationship with a woman that you're 0% attracted to. And everywhere you go, there are more attractive women throwing themselves at you. This is the equivalent of dating a Dusty, when women could be dating men that want to offer them more. That's the equivalent. Imagine you going home to a pick Misha that looks like Who Did It and Why every day, that makes you cringe. And every time you're on your way home, all these beautiful women are throwing themselves at you. How are you going to resist that? Okay, that's the same thing. When women are dating a broke Dusty and all these men with money are offering to do all these nice things, are doing all these nice things for them just to impress them or get them to go on a date with them. You can't be broke and keep a woman unless she's desperate or she's a pick-me-shit and she doesn't love herself or know her value. And chances are you don't even want that woman. She's just your placeholder. Where is the evidence? Look around. Look around at every woman who looks at a nice car when it drives by. There's your evidence. Look around whenever a woman sees a rich man that has money. Her eyes get wide. Okay? Look at a woman every time she receives an expensive gift. That's the evidence, sir. Nobody wants to be sitting at a bus stop with a broke Dusty talking about, but I love him. Nobody. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Uh-oh, the slooty booty. Why do they think their provisions should be earned? Like their favorite line is, I have the provisions, but what will you do to earn it? Okay, thank you for asking this question, the slooty booty. It's because they had to earn it and they worked hard to earn it, and they don't have several streams of income, and they don't make money in their sleep, and they're not financially intelligent. So if they got to earn it working hard at the call center, you got to earn it from them, baby. So that's why I say go for men that have money and who are financially intelligent, because they know how to make money from all different directions. And if that Dusty that says you have to earn it is living paycheck to paycheck, of course you got to earn it because they have to earn it. All right. So that's why you need to find a financially intelligent man that has several streams of income, and putting money towards a gift or a date or paying a woman's bills is no big deal, because you constantly have money coming in left and right. You don't depend on a boss. Your job isn't dangling by a string every day if you're late to work. That's the Dusty talk. That's lack talk. So when they say, what are you going to do to earn it? It's because they had to earn it. And they only have probably one stream of income. And that's not the type of dude you want. They're broke, poverty-minded, and have limited sources. So on to the next. Sprinkle, sprinkle. This is like when you listen to people's keywords in a conversation, you know how much money they have just by the types of words that they use. When they think you got to earn something, it's because they have to earn it. And it's hard to part with money that you're not 100% sure that you're going to get back, because they work paycheck to paycheck. Their job isn't guaranteed. They probably only have one stream of income. So to them, that money is more valuable because they don't have several streams and they work hard for that money. So now they want you to work hard for it if they're going to spend it on you. So definitely date men with more money if you don't want to deal with the lack mentality. Okay. He said most men have a poverty mindset and that's because they, instead of thinking about how to get several streams of income, they keep thinking about how to get several women with no income. Okay. If a man thought about how to get several streams of income instead of trying to get several women, they could have most of the women that they wanted. Their focus is off. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So am I saying a dog brings more to the table? Yes, because you can train a dog to bring stuff to the table. Okay. You can train a dog to do all those things. All right. You can fill out paperwork to adopt a dog, feed the dog, take the dog to the vet. You can train them to fetch. Yes. You can train your emotional support animal to bring you whatever you need. But a woman is very different. Okay. She's not going to do all that for no broke man. If she loves herself. That's why I'm a cat person. Because cats only deal with you if they want to. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said the dog got to chase the cat. Yeah. Uh-oh. Sugar booze. One kiss on first date after he spent money. Is that okay? Sure. I mean, it's just a kiss. Some people kiss on the first date. Some people don't. If you felt like you benefited off of it, great. That's literally your call. Thank you, ma'am. You said any man commenting negative in here is miserable. We already know that, man. That's funny. Yes, and a lot of the things that they are saying, make sure you take note so that if you ever, hopefully you won't, but if you ever meet a man that repeats the same type of vocabulary and sentences, you automatically know he's super dusty and to automatically dismiss. It can. They literally give themselves away in conversation. Yes. So bring nothing to the table, ladies, and never stick with a man who asks you to bring anything to the table. All right. They are not provider types. If you're just looking for someone to be in a relationship with just for the sake of being in a relationship because you're desperate and don't want to hold out for a provider, then by all means bring everything you can to the table. And when they leave with everything you brought and leave nothing behind, don't be mad. Okay. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Because if they're asking you what you bring to the table, they're obviously thinking that you're getting ready to serve them. Thank you, Esoteric Iris. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Your provider cousin likes me and can do more for me. What would you do? Cousin? Oh, provider's cousin. Girl, I was going to say, girl, no. You can't. Provider's cousin like me and can do more for me. Okay, well, if you like that cousin more, slowly cut ties with the provider and then gradually start dating the cousin. I mean, y'all aren't married, right? Sprinkle, sprinkle. If that's what you want to do. A man would do it in a second. I promise you. If it were the other way around, a man would hop on it in a second. They do not care. So why should you? All right, sprinkle, sprinkle. They literally won't care. They're like, oh, I'm going to go for her. You done dating her? And if I don't care, whatever. They're going to try to do it in secret. But if they get found out, they're not going to care. Men don't hold grudges against other men like women do, So they don't really care. Thank you, Susie. If he asks you to be his girlfriend, but we are single until we're married, what do you say to them? Even though I want to be with them. Okay. They're key. Okay. When you are committed in a relationship as a girlfriend, remember this, if you plan to be faithful and committed, they are keeping you from meeting other men of means that may be able to do more for you. So you need to tell them, if you want to totally take me off the market, this is what you need to do. You need to pay all my bills. You need to do this and you need to do that, whatever that is. Because if you miss an opportunity and you're going 50-50, or they're not paying any bills, and some man is willing to go some man is willing to pay your bills, you're missing out on that by not entertaining it or not being available to it. So they need to be able to fully provide for you if you're going to give them the title of that's your man, okay? Because a man will provide. Okay? That has to be that. If you want him so bad, but don't require him to provide much for you, you like him more than he likes you. Okay? And you're not allowing him to impress you or provide for you. So he's not investing. So make sure he's providing. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If you take on the title of girlfriend. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Now, if you're in high school or college and you know that man is not able to provide because he's so young, then as long as he's providing the most that he can provide, paying on dates, doing nice things for you, making sure you have a gift on every holiday, doing things for you, that's fine if y'all are young. But when you're at a certain age, you don't entertain anything that's not providing. Okay? After the age of 23, 24, 25, providers only. Sprinkle, sprinkle. We're not supposed to, like when you get to the age of 30 as a woman, you can't still be dating someone that thinks they're 25 in the mind and still trying to bar hop and, play video games with their friends or whatever. We can't be doing that as women at 30. We can't be dealing with men that are still somebody's sons, that are still in their adolescence phase and mentally. We have to be dealing with providers. That's why historically women date and marry older men. Historically, this is nothing new. Y'all have just been brainwashed to date men your own age that you have to finish raising. Historically, men and women who marry are usually 10 plus years apart historically. If they are wanting to marry successful men, financially responsible men, men of means, and so on and so forth. Women are not aiming to date someone who is not mature financially. It just doesn't go together. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. You said old ones are childish too. Be careful. They can be childish, but are they providing? Because most men are going to act like your child at some point, but can they provide? That's the point. Yeah, you can send a cash app, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I got my phone here. Appreciate you. Okay. I missed the super chat. Hold on. Okay. You're only 21. Okay, Daniela says she's only 21. You're talking to a lawyer, but he always asks me for inappropriate pics. Decline and say no, thank you. I don't send those types of pics. Okay? Because I'll tell y'all something. Men collect those pictures from so many women. They have so many women's pictures in their phone. They use them later for blackmail if if things don't work out. So don't use them. Also, if you're the type of woman not to send those type of pictures, you're more likely to be wifed up and thought of as a higher caliber woman than one that would send those pictures, because that means everybody that is on the dating site or anyone that you come in contact with can get that type of pic from you, So set yourself apart with class and don't send pics. Just like, no, I politely decline. I'm not that type of woman. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, because every time I flip through TikTok or Instagram, I'm always hearing some sob story of some woman talking about he threatened to leak my pics. I'm like, girl, you dumb enough to send them? Stop sending pics. Okay, take accountability for what you do, because sometimes those pics are going to be used against you. So just stop sending them all together, ladies. They don't deserve those pictures. All right. They don't deserve them, darling. Why are y'all giving out free pics anyway? Oh, that's the stupidest thing you can do. Do you know how many other pics are in their phone next to yours? You're not special, darling. All right. Okay, Wanda, Sprinkle, Sprinkle, do you have any tips on not feeling bad for cutting out dusties? I know they would feel bad, but I still struggle with feeling bad. Okay. Ma'am, a dusty would not do the same for you. If they met a woman that better met their requirements, they would leave you in a second and not feel bad at all. Why? Because men are more selfish, because they don't literally care about your feelings more than they care about themselves and their sexual gratification. So they don't feel guilty. If the roles were switched, they wouldn't feel guilty at all about you whatsoever. If you are not the type of woman that they were attracted to or the type of woman that they could see themselves with, they wouldn't feel bad for dumping you or using you. You would literally just be their placeholder until their type came along, and they would have no worries about it. They would just say, oh, well, I got lots of women that they like me and I'm the prize. That's all that they would literally say. So y'all have to think about stuff like that. If you feel bad, it's because you were programmed to feel bad, to cater to men's ego by society. They don't feel bad because men aren't programmed to feel bad when they do certain things to women. So unprogram yourself and only deal with men that are beneficial. That's the smart, intelligent thing to do. Okay? Think about it. Okay. You said, why are so many Black men nowadays gay or on the DL? I don't get it. A lot of other people and a lot of other races are also on the DL and are gay, but it's literally promoted more by Black men because they either embrace it or it's just being more focused on, because a lot of them are in their feminine by how they react and treat women. So they're pronouncing it more and promoting it more. Sprinkle. Will they will definitely be more interested if you decline sending pics. It looks bad. That's so true, Empress. Sprinkle. Yes. Everywhere I go, I mean, you're going to see a gay person or possibly a person on the DL. That's no big deal. But it's advertised more and promoted more in Black men because that's how they act financially as well, a lot of them. Okay. They will take on the feminine role in the relationship most of the time because they don't have enough financial intelligence or education to take on the masculine role in the relationship. So a lot of people promote single motherhood. A lot of people promote powerful Black women who are highly educated and make money, and they promote weaker Black men because that's what society is reflecting at this moment or wants to promote. Okay, sprinkle. And there's nothing wrong with being a gay Black man. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. But if women have a problem with men being gay, I mean, that's not really your problem because they don't want women anyway. Sprinkle. You know, like whenever I see a gay man, I'm not offended. I'm not mad. I don't care. I don't think that's supposed to be mine. So, but if you're on the DL and keeping secrets, that's another thing. That means you're not confident enough to come out of the closet or love yourself to be who you are. So, no. Men get mad because women were born with value. Meanwhile, they have to go and be valuable. Yeah. So, yeah, if you're gay, just be gay. I think a lot of men are just feminine minded when it comes to finances and the dynamic of a relationship. That doesn't mean they're gay if they're more on the feminine side of the relationship. You know what I mean? Because they weren't taught. And most of the time, many men were raised by single women. So they didn't have a masculine role model growing up. Sprinkle. Thank you, Bria. Thank you. You sent a cash app? Okay, let me check it out. Okay, ma'am. Let's see. Miss Bria says, hold on. She said, oh, thank you, ma'am. Tips on fumbling a good man. I was too insecure. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. When you're insecure as a woman, it means that you lack something, and the man is constantly trying to figure out what it is you're lacking to be so insecure. And so, what you're doing is programming him to think that you're missing something or something is wrong with you. And so, they're going to start to look for all your flaws because it's obvious you have them and you're hoping they don't discover them. And when you act insecure, it's because you know you have them and they just haven't discovered them yet. So they're going to start looking for them. They're going to start thinking, what is she hiding? Why is she so insecure? Why does she think that I'm going to, do this, and that? Is there something that she's lacking inside? Is she always going to be this way? There's nothing I can do to fix her. That's literally her problem, right? I am who I am. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And she needs to have the same level of confidence because if I have options, like this is how the man is thinking. If the man has options, you should also have options if you're going to be his woman. Okay. It shouldn't be the opposite. You should also have options if he got options. That therefore you shouldn't be insecure because you got options. Now, many women don't want options when they hone in on a man and they say that one has to be mine. And they become all this insecurity, it's going to show the man that they can do better. If you're so adamant on controlling them, on being insecure, on doing this, they feel like you're telling them they deserve better and they're going to go look for it. If you don't act like the queen and the highly confident woman that should be by his side, he's going to treat you the way that you act, like you're lacking something and have zero options. So it's very important to have high self-esteem when you're in a relationship and to keep your options open and to look like you have options and to be secure within yourself when you're dating. Okay. You fumbled it because he saw lack in you and you saw lack in yourself. The next relationship you get into, or if you try to get back in with that relationship, your confidence level has to be higher than his. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How men think about designer clothes, I don't work. Okay. If they didn't buy them designer clothes, don't wear them on a date with them because when you go out with them, all the other people are going to think he bought them for you. And he hadn't spent the dime, baby. Wear your regular clothes and let him gift you designer. If you're already wearing designer, he don't need to buy you designer. Okay. Where's designer perfume? Wear designer makeup. He can't see that. All right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He's going to be asking you to pay for stuff if all you're wearing is designer. Or just tell him it's fake. Maybe he'll try to buy you the real one. Okay? Don't up the value of these men by wearing designer. Other people think that they bought it for you when they haven't literally spent the dime on you. Wear classic clothing with no labels. If you want to wear designer perfume and makeup, baby. All right. They don't deserve to be seen out in public with you wearing designer because other women are going to think they bought that for you. They're going to be honing in on your man. Other men are going to think that that man has more money than he probably does because he has his woman laced out in designer. No, you don't wear designer out on dates with men who haven't spent any money on you. And I'm talking about taking you shopping and buying you designer. You don't wear that out with them. You wear that out by yourself, with your friends, on girls' night, or if they buy you designer, you can wear it with them. Okay. But if you wear designer, you're gonna attract men that want to look good next to you and trick people into thinking they bought it for you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It's gonna make them look better to other women when you're out and about. And what if they return to that place, that bar the next day, and there's a regular person that, goes to that happy hour or goes to that restaurant or goes to that bar and they see him again and they're going to be like, he buys designer clothes. He's a sugar daddy, even though he hasn't spent a dime. So yeah, we don't do that. You said, read the Bible. You read the Bible, sir. And come back when you finished. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. You said dusty alert. I know they always want to revert back to the Bible and stuff when it comes to money. Okay. If you broke, throw spirituality in there, throw religion in there to make people feel some sort of way about wanting to live an abundant life. Okay. But as soon as y'all can't pay y'all rent, y'all ask begging Jesus for money. Don't make no sense. Okay. Go read the Bible, and when you finish, come back. We'll do a book report. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, Sine. Can I tell him it's from my previous boyfriend? No. Sprinkle, sprinkle, because it's still making him look good in public. Do you not understand it? You can wear designer perfume, makeup, maybe one piece of nice jewelry, but that's it. Don't try to do too much for this man's ego or his reputation if he hasn't done it for you. Wear your designer with your friends or your ex-boyfriend. All right, sprinkle, sprinkle. If we go to the mall, how do you get him to buy you things without upfront asking for it? Point, look in the store, drag him in the store, try it on. If he doesn't purchase or ask if you want it, then he's not the type of man that's going to take you shopping. Okay. If he's still in the phase where he's trying to impress you, he'll buy you something. Start off, if you're not sure if he's going to spend money, start off small by asking for something smaller. Okay. If you know that he's going to spend, start out asking for whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You said you're okay. You have your own home, car, and 3 jobs. Well, that sounds nice. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Good for you. Okay. Dust demons always bring up the Bible and religion. Yeah, but they do anything but get the money. I promise you. Your presence is currency, never free. Exactly, Empress. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, ma'am. Mm-hmm. You said some men use religion to control. That's why you use it to get money. All right. If you know what you're doing, no one can control you. Okay. Why are men cheap? Because they think you're supposed to be free. If you get somebody older who knows the value of a woman, they most likely are going to understand the assignment. You said the Bible says to provide. Okay, yes. That's why I told him to read the whole thing so he can understand that. Yes, you need to provide. Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. You said you just hate that black men and black women are against each other. I don't think that they're against each other. Like, honestly, in my opinion, I just think one has surpassed the other. And you can't be on the same page if you're not on the same page. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Like, y'all can quote me on that. I think one has surpassed the other. And that's what it is. They're not against each other. They're just no longer on the same level. That's all. That's why I'm always telling y'all, get your money up. Get your money up. Get on the same level. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You can't be friends. You can't get along, even with people not on the same level, no matter what race. Okay? It's not even about race. It's about classism at this point. If you like cleaning, get paid to clean, man. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't do nothing free, even if you like it. Okay? That's how you get rich. All right, man. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It's not about race anymore. It's about class. Get on the same level and no one will be against anybody. And if you are on the same level, mentally, financially, physically, or whatever, if you decide to deal with each other, great. If not, you got options elsewhere. And who cares? Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said Shira is teaching these women to be unhappy. No, they're not unhappy. They're literally getting information to level up to provider type men instead of settling for men no longer on their level. Okay. So back in the old days, women usually married up, not not the same or not lower. Okay. We're not doing that. We don't want to marry or date down. We want to marry or date up. It just makes perfect sense. Why would we want to marry down or date down when we can date up? That makes no sense. Common sense ain't so common. But honestly, if you can date up, date up. And teach your daughters to date up instead of dating down. If they choose to date down, at least they should have options to be able to date up when they finish dating down. So make sure you're always looking cute. They don't need to be dating down though if they don't want to waste no time. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He said, she taught me how to be happy with my provider. Thank you very much. Okay. Men always want to say women are unhappy, mad, because when you are in the presence of a woman, Dusty, they're going to be unhappy. They're going to be mad. They're going to be stank face because they're in the presence of you, Dusty. You get a presence in a woman of a rich man who's ready to spend money, who knows her value and doesn't bring up, what are you going to bring to the table? And she's going to be happy. Okay. Just because when you get around women, they don't like you. That's because it's you. It ain't them. Okay. Whenever I see a Dusty, my face starts to frown. I'm like, turn around slow. Don't make no sudden moves. Walk away. Don't make eye contact. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Clear signs of a Dusty. Anyone who complains, has a lack mindset, and has more excuses than they have solutions. That's how you can tell a Dusty. Just have a conversation with him for 5 minutes or less, and you'll be able to tell he Dusty and not man. Just by his word choice. It's going to be a complaint. They're going to be asking you for something. They're going to have no solutions to anything. And they're probably going to blame somebody for their current position in life. So, yeah, that's how you can tell a Dusty. A lack mindset, literally. You said, ladies, we are not going back. Why would anybody want to go back to that? Nobody wants to go back to that. Once women level up in lifestyle, they don't go backwards. They level up and get better. They don't keep moving backwards. They would rather take a temporary, hiatus and hold out for better. If men don't know that Shira teaches is correct, they wouldn't be so threatened. Exactly. They know I'm right. That's why they're mad. Why are there fewer and fewer providers these days? Because y'all aren't dating the right targets. Y'all are dating the broke young men that don't even have it. Aim higher, aim older. Okay? They're all there. Y'all are just missing them because y'all are looking for abs and six packs. All right. Okay. Look, I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, the office that I'm in, all these private offices, all these business owners in here, when they step out of their office, they're not the cutest looking thing. Some of them looking like who did it and why for real, but their wallets and their bank accounts are not. The parking lot do not look like, anybody's broke up in here. So I already know. I see a nice cars, all these businesses, entrepreneurs, and companies are in this building. Not everybody is a looker, but their accounts look good. Okay, y'all are out here looking for looks. That's not where most of the money is, because a lot of times men that are attractive don't have to do as much to get a pygmisha, so they don't have as much ambition. Some of them do, but not all of them. Attractive men don't have as much ambition as unattractive men. They know they got to do more to get a woman, so that's what they go do. They know they got to focus on the bag if they want the type of woman that they want eventually, so that's what they do. And they know they got to take a little longer to get it. They may be a little bit older, but when it's time to choose the woman that they want, they got the money as well to provide for her. So y'all have to be smart. Y'all got to do better in your thinking. You got to have more common sense. You got to understand this. When you're in your teens, like late teens, like 18, 19, and 20 to 22, that's when you're supposed to, date people your age, get it out of your system, And then when you get to the age where you want lifestyle versus looks, that's when you start making different decisions based on a man's looks. Okay. If you're into a man being attractive, your eyes are going to start to see a regular man after about 6 months. He's going to just be regular to you. You know what I mean? And if he has regular money or low money, his looks aren't even going to matter anymore if he can't do anything for you. He's just going to be a big disappointment. And he's going to be a trigger to your insecurity, because at any given time, a richer pygmisha can steal him from you if she brings something to the table. So those of y'all who are dating attractive men who are following all these IG models or people on, TikTok or Instagram, y'all are insecure because you know that you chose wrong and that you like him more than he likes you. And that he can get a pygmisha to cater to him probably better than you are, because you're used to him now. And you probably told him to do better and do more, but his looks are saying, I can just go get a pygmisha. Just like if you're pretty, you can just I can go get a better provider. It's the same with attractive men. They don't need to level up financially if another pygmisha will take care of them. So that's why they're not going to, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them aren't going to be as successful as less attractive men, because they can't grab a pygmisha. A pygmisha only goes for looks. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He said, what's wrong with talking on the phone? It's a waste of time if they're not making plans or trying to invest in you. Okay. You don't be someone's emotional support animal on the phone all day. You could talk for 2 minutes and then hang it up. Don't stay on the phone longer than 2 minutes. It keeps them missing you, wondering what you're doing, and keeping the interest high, instead of being on the phone all day looking like you have no options, no business to stand on, and also like they're the only one. Okay? No. If you're a teenager, stay on the phone as long as you want. They don't care anyway. That's what teenagers do. If you're a grown woman over the age of 22, don't be on that phone all the time. I mean, it looks selfish. It looks selfish on the man's part, trying to keep tabs on you, and it also looks silly on the woman for being so available. Okay, Olivia, sprinkle, sprinkle. Your boyfriend of 4 years and you broke up and you've been using his card. Now he's asking me to pay him back. What do I do? $1,400. Tell him you can. Okay, so I don't know. I think that's illegal unless he gave you permission and you can prove it. But I think that's illegal what you did. So tell him that you can divide it up into the smallest payment and tell him you'll pay him back every month. And you can only afford to pay him $20 a month until it's paid off. I don't know. Whatever you think you can afford, but just drag it out. That way it's not like paying him back at all. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Unless he's threatening to press charges on you, girl, then you better ask another man for that money to pay him back. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, make sure y'all stay legal out here because y'all don't want to be facing no time, baby. Stay legal. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If it's a credit card, he can dismiss the charges if he's smart. Like that ain't me spending. Tell him to try to get the charges dismissed. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Or pay him back, girl, whichever one. Mm-hmm. You said most Black women will treat their dude like Sanaa Lathan and Tyler Perry's A Family That Prays. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's because I told you y'all they were on a different class level mentally. But like if you're gonna go by Tyler Perry movies, he's writing for the masses of poverty mind, honestly. He's not writing for wealthy minded people. I mean, I like Tyler Perry stuff. A lot of his stuff is really good, but he's not writing for the minority of wealth. He's writing for poverty mind because that's his audience. So he's going to cater to them because they're going to relate to it and they're going to click on it and they're going to watch it and they're going to say, "Ooh, I need me a man that don't do much and who I surpassed. You know, look how the movie ended. He ended up getting a construction business. That's going to be my." Most Black men aren't as motivated if they have a Black woman like Sanaa Lathan in the corporate business area. They're not as motivated as she is. They're probably not going to have that ending of owning a contracting service. You know, that was fiction. Most of the time, they're going to lay on the couch and let her make all the money. You know what I mean? That's, you know, I always, when I watch movies, I can say, I can tell a man wrote this because of the fictitious ending, the unrealistic ending, the way that women are portrayed. You know, you can always tell when a man writes something versus when a woman writes something because very different. Yeah, no shade on Tyler Perry. He writes for his audience. That's very smart. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. A lot of y'all don't realize this, but people want money. They're going to write for the audience that supports them, even if they think totally different, even if it's not what's in trend, even if it's not what's productive. They're going to write for what gets paid. Period. If I were making movies right now, and I knew that the majority of my audience was of a certain, you know, income level, I got to write at that income level. That's just common sense. They're not going to relate if you're writing about something that they can't relate to. So the target audience is what people write for because they want money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And even as an actress, I'm sure Sanaa Lathan got paid more for her role in the movie than the guy that played her husband. At the end of the day, sprinkle, sprinkle. Still. Mm-hmm. What do you wear to a spring equestrian event? Heels? You mean like a polo match? I wouldn't wear heels because you're going to be walking in grass if it's an equestrian event, unless you're on cement or dirt. I would literally wear sandals or flats. I wouldn't be in heels because if you're walking in grass, your heel is going to sink into the grass. It's springtime. Wear something spring-like, spring colors, maybe a skirt, a nice top or a dress, a flowy dress, a little hat if you're going to be outside. Your boyfriend is a provider. but he only has one stream of income. How to convince him to get more without being bossy? He is young. Side hustles, online businesses, anything he can do online in his spare time, or stuff like that. Tell him to seek online streams of income. All right. Y'all have to do the research. Like, I can't tell you what to do. That might not be his passion. That might not be who he wants to do. He might get deterred if I give you an idea and it doesn't sit well with him. They got to find their own passion and idea on how to make money online on the side. Making money in your sleep is another stream of income. Tell them to figure out how to do that. Okay, there's dropship companies, there's advertising, there's so many things. Let them figure it out. They got to have ambition. You can't have the ambition for them. If they don't have it naturally, you could put the idea in their mind, but they got to go for it naturally. Otherwise, they're not ambitious. And do you want to keep continuing to feed your man ambition and he can't do it on his own? That means you're still raising someone's son. Sprinkle, sprinkle. They got to want it on their own. You can suggest it to him. Keep talking about it, and maybe they'll do it. If not, if they don't think you're worth getting 2 streams of income for, if they don't think that they're supposed to be that ambition, it's not their time. Go for an older man that already has several streams of income, that already is ambitious, that already has what you want. Okay? You can't push people that aren't ready. That's why I always suggest women date slightly older or much older, because you can't make someone do something, especially when they're not mature enough to do it. And if people start asking you to bring stuff to the table during your relationship after they didn't require you to bring nothing to the table, that means they started slacking on their end of their ambition. You know what I'm saying? If people start asking you to bring something to the table and they never asked you to do it before, if they start asking you to contribute and you never have to contribute before, that means you're losing value and that you need to either level up or change the man, change the partner. Okay? Find someone who values you and doesn't ask you to bring nothing to the table. You don't lower your standards. Okay? Never. It's better to go find someone else or never lower your standards and leave them wondering why they fumbled you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Because a lot of y'all ask me that question, and I'm telling y'all, do better, get another one, never lower your standard. All right. How to deal with a jealous man on what you wear. Tell him to take you shopping and buy you all new wardrobe. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If you got a problem with your clothes, tell him to replace them and make sure they are nice quality, high end. He can't complain about something unless he has the solution. Say, I don't have anything else to wear. You want to take me shopping? Let's go. Free shopping trip. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. How to respond to men who says women who are single means something is wrong with them. Yes, it means something is wrong with their ability to accept society morals and that they're making their own morals. If you're single as a woman, doesn't mean you're not dating several men, getting several bills paid. It means you're not committing to a dusty or someone that hasn't taken you 100% off the market by being a provider. Women are not dating men anymore. They need to be dating providers. So when a man says something is wrong with you if you're single, it's like, no, nothing is wrong with me at all. I only date providers. In fact, I'm dating several right now, but I am single. Get it? It's like, you're right. Something is wrong with me. I don't have the same morals that society brainwashed women with. So I'm dating several providers right now, but I am single. But I pay no bills. That's what you need. That's the answer that you need to give, because a lot of men don't understand that we have surpassed what society has tried to brainwash us with. Thank you, Mila. No question, just appreciation. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you too. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. A lot of these men think dating means you're in a relationship where you do all the things that a wife do for free just to say you got some type of man. No, that's not what it means. It means if you're going to claim me as your woman and take me off the market, you need to also be a provider to do so, because you're going to be blocking the way of a potential provider. So therefore, there is something wrong with women who are single. We're no longer brainwashed. That's what's wrong to them. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It's like you woke up and saw the light and got all your bags. Okay. How to communicate that you're looking for a provider on the first date. Just start talking about it. It's like, I'm so glad I met you. You are such a breath of fresh air. I've always, admired a provider type of man. Just already tell him what you think he is so that he can comply. If he corrects you and say he's not a provider, then okay, great. You're not wasting any more time. But automatically assume that you found a provider and let him impress you accordingly. Because a lot of times men are just waiting for the right woman to know her value so they can impress her. If they don't have to spend money, if you're insecure, if you treat yourself like you don't deserve something, why would he spend his money on you? So if you already assume that he's a provider, he may just start acting like one. If that's what you're used to and he likes you and he already thinks you think he's a provider, he wants to impress you, he's going to keep going into that direction. So it's already assumed he's a provider. Either he's going to correct you and say no, and then that's y'all's last date, or he's going to try to provide and impress you by giving you what you want. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, don't spam, baby. You can't. Yeah, if you meet in Dusty's, you're in the wrong area. Switch locations and go to the rich area of town. There you go. So anyway, yeah, we don't bring nothing to the table because obviously you're talking to a Dusty. I'm going to put it to you in religious terms or spiritual terms. Y'all know me. So asking a woman what she brings to the table is equivalent to praying to God or Jesus and say, what are you going to do for me if I become a part of your religion? What are you going to do for me? It's the equivalent of that. Okay. That's how offended you should be if a man asks you what you bring to the table. The same way a deity or a God would be offended if somebody said, well, what are you going to do for me if I worship you? What are you going to bring to the table if I convert my religion? Either you do or you don't. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. So we bring nothing to the table. Get my book also, because it helps women answer this question in several ways and justify it. And it also helps women to be able to walk away from people that ask this question if they don't want to answer it or justify it. Thank you. My makeup looks lovely today. Thank you, S. I actually did my makeup on TikTok this morning with a whole list of products. It's probably not going to be on there because it was live. But my lip combo, let me see. Do I have it up here? Okay, I'm using Fenty lip liner and browned out. And I'm using Lawless Forget the Filler lip gloss in the color Strawberry Shortcake. And then I topped it off with this other lipstick called this lipstick is called Bimolia. It's the name of the company. And it's like a clear lipstick that changes color. And I just put that over it. So I have like 3 things on. Strawberry Shortcake. And then this color changing lip gloss over it. And then browned out by Fenty liner. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Appreciate y'all. Why do men stare but don't approach? Because they don't have enough courage to do so yet. When they gather up the courage and the muster to do it, wonderful. If not, why are you worried about them? They're not man enough to walk over. They're not a target. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Okay. Yeah, not a target. You said, did you just compare yourself to Jesus? You girls lost their mind. I compare myself to a goddess. Oh, thank you, Ho Ho Boss Sprinkle Sprinkle. Hi, Shira. I find it hard to tell if a man is rich when he approaches. Can you name some things to look out for? I don't want to go into the date with dust. Look, if you met him on the rich side of town and not on a dating app, make sure he's on the rich side of town. You'll probably meet him in person if you hang out on the rich side of town. You could tell if he's rich, if he has probably a home over there, a nice car, and if he maybe owns his own business or has a high paying salary career where he doesn't have to be clocked in and sitting at a desk all the time. He's going to be out there doing rich activities during the daytime. He's not going to talk about money all the time. It's not going to be a big deal for him to spend it. He's not going to care or complain about stuff like that. He's going to have a very positive mindset. And he's not going to be speaking any type of lack. That's how you can spot them in a conversation and where they are at when you meet them. Thank you, Stacy. Single mom not working. Should I do part-time and date? Ma'am, that's up to you. I don't know how you're surviving without working. Maybe you're getting some, money from the father. I'm not sure, but do what's best for you financially and what's best for the baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't know how old your child is, but never put men before your children. Maybe if they're in school and you have the daytime to go mingle on the nice side of town, wonderful. But yeah, take care of them kids first. Maybe you can find a little daytime sugar daddy to give you some money and pay them bills while them kids at school, take you to lunch, something like that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Yeah. You said Andrew was right. Women shouldn't get the right to vote. I didn't vote, and I'm still paid. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Doesn't even matter. Okay. I know to vote for myself and to get this money. That's what I know. Thank you, BB. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Makeup, skin, hair. You look great. Thank you, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Miss BB. From the beginning of time, women have known how to get the bag. Doesn't matter. Men will say and do anything but get some money. Do I believe in soulmates? Only if you're manipulating someone in order for them to believe that they're your soulmate. I do. Only if it's a form of manipulation to get what you want. Of course, I'll believe in it if I get my money out of it. I'll temporarily pretend to believe in it, but common sense doesn't make sense with common sense. So I'll pretend to believe in soulmates if it's going to get me paid, but that doesn't mean I really believe. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. You scared to get pregnant? Are you married to a provider? If you're not married to a provider, I know why you're scared. If you scared to get pregnant, get on birth control and use 2 forms of birth control and have your extra Plan B pill ready. If you're married to a provider and you know he got money, giving birth ain't that bad. I did it twice. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Just make sure you get all the epidurals and stuff. All right. You said your provider thinks that you will find another man who can spoil you after you reply, forget it, I'll find another way. That's what they're supposed to think. If they don't come through with what you need, they don't like you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, Area Music. Why don't you recommend dating apps to find provider? Because that's not where providers are. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. If you're going to find a provider online, more power to you, but it's easier to find them on the rich side of town, in my opinion. Think about this. If you have no time, if you're stuck at work on a 9 to 5, so are all these other men that are on these dating apps. Okay. They don't have time either. They ain't got time for you or to go meet people in real life. They're looking through a menu of women. And if you do find someone, they have a menu of women at their fingertips at all times. They're not even looking for love. They're looking to sleep with you. Okay. It's a menu of women who are desperate with no time and will believe any lie. That's what dating apps are for. Dating apps aren't to find you love. They're to keep you single. They're to keep men with a menu of women or a roster of women and dinner dates for a lonely old person or a lonely man that can't afford commitment. This is what dating apps are. If y'all want to get on a dating app, fine. Let them advertise to y'all, meet mediocre men that are lying to you, that only want to be seen out public with a cute woman, so don't have to chew food at the table alone every day. Go for it. But when you get serious about meeting a provider, you're going to go to the rich side of town. You're going to join rich-tivity activities. You're going to become a regular over there. You're going to mix and mingle with people. You're going to make friends over there. You're going to get invited to stuff. You're going to get introduced to different people, and you're going to meet people over there. That's what's going to happen. But if you're going to continuously feed the dating app, the dating apps, they're just there to advertise to you. They don't care, and you're only dealing with guys who are busy and have things to hide. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, Crimson. How do you go from mistress to wife? They got to invest more money into you than they invested in their wife. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. That's how. And their wife probably has to divorce them first. You're told that you are strong, and because I do well for myself, that men have told me they feel like they shouldn't provide for me. I date old rich men. What should I do? Lie about your job. Lie and say that you don't make a lot of money and that your car is borrowed, rented, or your mother's. Always lie about how much money you make. Okay? You know why? Because men can't impress you if you can do everything for yourself. Okay? if someone met me and they're like, what do you do for a living? I work online. Oh, are you on OnlyFans? No. No, I just work from home online, just, helping people. It's kind of like, answering people's questions. Oh, you're in customer service. Yes. Because that's literally the truth. I'm answering y'all's questions and I'm helping people. If the man want to assume I'm a customer service, let him assume it, baby. Because he gonna pay all them bills. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said they say that I'm strong because they can't fool me. Well, that's why you got to play dumb, ma'am. You're not always supposed to show your hand or your intelligence or your strategy. You're supposed to play dumb, gather information, and then use it. You're so smart. Tell me more. When you try to impress men with your intelligence and your job and all this kind of stuff, you're literally not appealing to their masculinity. You're challenging it. Okay? You're challenging their masculinity and they're unable to impress you. And they are automatically repelled by your level of competition to them. So you got to lie and play dumb and collect their money. Okay. Lie, play dumb, collect their money, man. Or you need to date men that are much richer than you are. Much richer. And you still got to lie. Your provider is married. Your first trip this weekend, you're not ready to be intimate. How do I delay with grace? Have your own room, darling. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Demand that he gets you your own room so that you can put your makeup on and do your hair and da da da. You don't like to be, sharing the bathroom. You can get a connecting room or whatever, but you don't sleep in the same room. If that's a deal breaker, just say, well, let's get a connecting room and see how things go. And then things will never go. Bring a big, okay. Bring a big box or I think they come in bags now and come in boxes no more, of pads and set them right on the counter if he walks in your room. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There you go. Mm-hmm. You said diapers. How can you stop being nice? Sometimes you feel bad about being mean to men, like self-conscious. Okay, you're not being mean. You're having boundaries and you're having standards. If coddling men and making them feel good is your objective, because you've been brainwashed that women are nice and they're supposed to make men feel worthy of themselves, even when the man ain't doing nothing, then you have to unbrainwash yourself. Okay. If this man is not beneficial and he's in your face, you can nicely dismiss him. You don't have to be mean. You can nicely dismiss him. It's like, it was so good to meet you, but I have to be somewhere. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't give out my number. Done. You could be mean, nice, nasty. Look, I'm not giving you my number. It was nice to meet you, but I got to go. Mm-hmm. How you date in a small suburban town that's wealthy? Your 3-year-old will be with you moving out of state. Someone says put them in daycare. They'll be ready to start preschool soon, right? Honestly, I would literally wait until they are of preschool age and focus on my looks, getting everything up to par, people watching in the area that you're in. So when your child is old enough to be in school or preschool, you know exactly what to do, where to go, how to dress, da da da. So use this time before they are, preschool age to gather your info, people watch, and level yourself up. So when you do step out, you're going to be able to pull, know where to go, meet friends, get in some circles, etc., etc. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah. Go to the parks with the other rich moms. You know what I mean? Get invited to stuff, get invited to kids' birthday parties that may also, just stuff like that. Get involved. Shira, you should have a dating show like Patty Stranger Millionaire Matchmaker. Someone reach out to VH1 or WeTV. Ha ha ha. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, Rosie Rose. Well, thank you. I should have my own TV show one day. That might be something for the future, definitely. If they're willing to risk it and put me on television. I'm very unpredictable and controversial. You think they're gonna put me on TV? Sprinkle, sprinkle. I always thought about that, but I'm too controversial to be put on TV, baby. I don't agree with everybody, and they can't tame me. That's one of the reasons I got to stick on YouTube. Okay, I'm not willing to give up my voice. Thank you. And you know what? Like honestly, there are people that have been on TV shows for many years and people still don't know who they are, but they know who I am. Okay, because I have the freedom of speech. Don't nobody control my mouth. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. I'd rather keep my freedom of speech than to be on a TV show where they tell me what to say. Okay. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Because I'd be arguing with them. I'm not going to say all that. I'm going to say what I want. If I'm going to have that in my contract, freedom of speech, baby. And it has to be in my contract. If anything, I can say what I want. And you can't edit out what I say or clip it. Full sentences, period. Okay, then no deal. Goodbye. Mm-hmm. Why would she want to go to outdated form of media? Exactly, Casa. I'd rather have my freedom of speech. I don't want to have to watch my mouth. That's something I'm unable to do. All right. Mm-hmm. He said a guy said you'd be destroyed. Destroyed by who? These dusties need to move around. Why would a man say I would be destroyed? Destroyed by what? A pile of dust? I got a vacuum. I got a mop. I got a Swiffer. I'm good, baby. Thank you, BB. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Can you say hi to my cat? Meow. Kitty. Sprinkle, sprinkle. She said, Peaches. You named your cat Peaches, ma'am? Hey, Peaches. How you doing? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all are silly. You say his pockets are destroyed. Okay, ma'am. Dusty's always trying to bring somebody doom and gloom. Dusty, get some money. Focus on something positive. Stop always trying to bring people down to your brokenness level. Get your money up. You won't have to be in no woman's comments talking about you'll be destroyed. You could be doing anything. You could be figuring out how to get some money. Like Dusty's will do anything but get some money. I promise you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's why we don't listen to them, because they moving backwards. Okay. They moving backwards. And sadly, they're proud of it. Sometimes, now honestly, I think that they are just the example of what you don't want. And they're also the example to men of what they don't want to become or ever be. So sometimes you need that negative example to keep you on the right path. And sometimes these dusties is just playing their position. Okay, maybe they were born to be dusty. Maybe they were born to be, awarding, whatever. They're just playing their role. That's all they're doing. Okay, until they decide to change their role. That's their role. Let them play. Okay, let them be the example of what you don't want and what successful man will never be. Okay. Why do men try to guilt you, even the older ones? Because, like I said, they think women are stupid and dumb and want to yield to a man's approval, when literally the man is supposed to be yielding to your approval and trying to impress you. If they try to make you feel guilty, it's because they lack something. They can't provide something that you asked for or that you deserve. So therefore, they're using their lack mentality to try to make you feel guilty for what they can't do for you. So just find another person to do it. If they make you feel guilty for asking them for something, ask someone else if your guilt is so strong. You're right. I don't want you to do all of that. Let me go ask someone else. Here you go. Thank you, Stacy. You work a rotating schedule doing nails and you're always busy with your child. Now you're funding. It's hard to find providers on the rich side of town. Okay, you're going to have to free yourself financially first in order to do that. And a lot of women don't understand this. If you are in the working class, you got to free yourself first. That means you got to have a side hustle. You got to start a business. You got to work for self, or you got to find a sponsor or a sugar daddy to do so without doing too much work. You know what I mean? You got to free yourself first. It's very easy if you know the target, or you can make money by yourself. So you got to free yourself first. Sometimes that means dating somebody way older than you that's going to pay all your bills. Okay. Got to free yourself first. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You can go out looking cute and do essential things. Yeah. Run your errands on the rich side of town. Create a business on the side, do something. Like, you got to free yourself financially first. In whatever way. Because time is a luxury that a lot of people, they don't have. You got to get that luxury. You got to find someone to give you that luxury, somebody to give you money so you can buy your time. Okay. How to stop regretting mistakes when they hold you down and keep you from being happy. Find the solution instead of focusing on the problem. Find the solution so that it's no longer a problem. Okay? Find the silver lining. Figure out how to make money off of whatever it is that you think was your mistake. In a legal, good way. You know what I mean? Like, how do you make a 61-year-old stay with you? He's wealthy. You met him 5 days ago and he's been giving me cash, but now saying he's too old for me. He wants you to reassure him that he's not old. You got to lie to this man to make him think he's young again, man. That's all he's asking you to do. Oh my gosh, you're not old. You don't even act old. You don't even look your age. Oh my gosh, that's so silly. I don't even date guys that are super young. I mean, they're just not even appealing. I mean, you are so great and interesting, and I couldn't even imagine dating anybody else right now. Like, you're just, I don't know. There's just something about you that I really like. And, it would make me sad if you didn't feel the same way. You got to lie to them. Grab their hand, hold it in public, man. Smile at them. Give them that look. They want you to lie to them. They got to feel like you want them. Just lie. And when you're with them, try to look older. Try to dress more classy and, a little bit more mature. Because a lot of times they're embarrassed because you're rocking too many trends, or that people are clocking them because you look too young. Level up your style to a more mature looking style, and maybe they will accept the relationship, because a lot of men just think about, okay, she's wearing stuff that my granddaughter wears. No, you got to dress a little bit more mature, a little bit more classy when you're with him. Okay. When you're not with him, dress however you want. You said women need the patriarchy. Yes, we need y'all to do all the stuff that we don't want to do and that y'all will do for free. Thank you so much. Sprinkle, sprinkle. We need men that are easily controlled. Okay. My provider had a baby on the way while I'm pregnant. Okay, ghetto twins. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Let's get it. Where y'all going to name the babies? Are they ever going to meet? That's what they call ghetto twins. All right. Ghetto twins is when the daddy got two women pregnant at the same time. All right. Y'all can have y'all baby shower together. Yeah. Are y'all asking me what to do? Hopefully file child support and get his money, man. How do you know you're his type even when y'all are together? And lots of guys secretly want blondes when they are with brunettes. If they're paying all your bills, you they type for now. You can always dye your hair or throw on a wig, man. If all it takes is a bottle of hair dye or a wig to become they type, and they paying bills, girl, get that wig. Get that hair dye. Who cares? That's not even a type. That's a hair color. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You can come they type in hours. 30 minutes if your hair already light brown. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do you still stand by men don't like curly hair? Well, I saw a lot of people ask men randomly on the street which hairstyle they prefer. And I don't really care if they like it or not. We trying to get to the bag. And if these men have money and most prefer a certain look and you want to be more approachable by wealthy men, you're going to listen to what they are attracted to mostly. And that's what you're going to do. And you can snatch off the wig when you got the money. Or you can have curly hair once you got the bag. They won't care after they've already given you the bag. So what I'm saying is, I don't care what your hair look like. Can you get the bag? Okay. So if they asked a bunch of men, which hairstyle do you prefer? And they all choose straight hair. I mean, I can't argue with that. I can't say, well, you should like curly hair. They shouldn't do whatever they shouldn't do what they're not attracted to. I'm not here to argue if curly hair is better than straight hair. I have curly hair. But if I'm trying to attract somebody to pay these bills and I see that most men are choosing straight hair when asked the damn question, which do you prefer? And I'm trying to get some money or find a provider, I'm going to do what they prefer. And then I'm going to do what I want after I got what I want. Simple as that. Y'all are out here looking good for other women and not understanding what some men find attractive, what they will cross a room for, what they will provide for. If your goal is to get a provider and a man to give you money, you got to attract what they find attractive. And then change your hair, let it go back curly after you got what you wanted. Okay, don't be over emotional about your hair. Your hair can be changed up in 30 minutes. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I could change my hair back to curly in literally 2 minutes. If I wet it, it'll be curly. If I want it straight, I'll blow dry it and fly iron it. Take me an hour. Or I could throw on a wig. Whatever I'm trying to attract and get done, I know the hairstyle to do it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Why? Because if you ask several men over and over and over and over and over, especially the rich ones, you're going to get the answer. I don't care. I wear my hair however I want once I got the bag. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, I don't care. I don't care what your hair looks like. Did you get a bag? That's all that matters. Okay, I don't care if you bald headed. Did you get the bag? Wonderful. I don't live by the highway. This is my office. Okay. Yeah, it is kind of loud though. I wouldn't live by the highway though. Yeah. Uh-huh. You said what? You said, yeah, I am raw. I don't care what your hair look like. If it's bringing you a bag, then wonderful. Keep wearing it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Arlette, you really admire me. Okay, thank you. My mindset, courage, and authenticity. I am materialistic. You're materialistic and you are often shamed for it. Do you have tips on remain authentic in a world where women are shamed? Own it. Okay. We live in a material world. Why should you be shamed for being material? Okay. Women are attracted to luxury and comfort, not poverty and lack. So don't be apologetic for it. It's like, I'm sorry, I live in a material world. I like comfort and luxury. Sorry if you don't. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's literally it. Own it. There's no shame in understanding who you are. I know who I am, and I ain't finna be sitting at the bus stop with no dusty. Okay? Know thyself. The church is very materialistic as well. That's why they pass the collection plate several times every Sunday. Okay? Do what you want. The only women that are mad because you're materialistic is they too ugly to be materialistic. All right, y'all. Someone sent me a Cash App. Thank you, Elon. Hold on, let me. I gotta go in a second, y'all. Thank you, B. Elon. Oh, that's the old Cash App. Okay. How to build a roster when your provider is controlling, possessive, he's rich, powerful, and has me watched when I'm out of town. Okay. You can't build a roster when someone is spying on you constantly unless you're dating a woman. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Good luck with that. Anyway, or if you find a man that pretends to be gay while out with him. All right, y'all. Thank y'all, everybody who donated. I do have to go. I'm going to go to my other channel in about 5 minutes. We're going to go review the movie Sinners. So y'all know. I'm going to see y'all over there. Join my Patreon. I'm going to link it right here. Also, I'll see y'all soon. Thank y'all, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Bye.